Well, the cost optimization is one of the six pillars in a AWS well-architected framework. And in this video, we're going to look at everything about cost optimization and what it talks about and what all things you need to be taking care of. So if you're working as an AWS as an architect or planning to work, become an architect or preparing for certification, which is AWS Solution Architect, Associate, or Professional, then the well-architected framework should be very, very important for you. Now, if you're jumping directly or coming onto this video directly from search or somewhere, then I would tell you the little bit background. Otherwise, you jump directly, or otherwise you fast forward and come straight to the point and skip that introduction part as well. So to give you some background, AWS well-architected framework is very, very important. It has six pillars. In the first four pillars, we've already covered things like operational excellence, security, reliability, and performance efficiency. And I'm going to put all these, including this video, in the playlist so you can watch all the previous videos as well and go through them one by one as well. Now, in this video, you might hear some references about the training because this clip has been taken from our AWS job-oriented program where we help you to learn all this in depth and help you not only getting certified but get a high paying job as well. And if you like, towards end, I'm going to invite you for a free class where we cover our three-step framework and also all the hands-on lab and the certifications. We cover, I think, 4 or 5 certifications covering from architect to DevOps to security and migrations and everything that you need in order to become successful as an AWS engineer or architect or DevOps and so on. So let's straight go and now look at the cost optimization part in this video.
You should be already aware about the various methods that are available to save the cost, but then there are principles which you should follow to control the cost. It is not always to reduce the cost. Always bear it in mind that you should not focus on reducing the cost. You should be focusing on controlling the cost. So what is the difference between reducing? The reduction is done based on the criteria that the bill amount is required to be reduced, whereas controlling means the whatever services which are required by you will be used, but at the same time by following various methods you can control your spending. That means, like, suppose say instead of using on demand always, you can go and use reserved instances, which will help you to save your cost. You can purchase saving plans. You should always measure the efficiencies of the system. Always go and keep an eye on what's happening in your account. Like if I go to the CC2 instances over here, I am aware about that there is one server in my environment. If I show you the monitoring of it, the CPU utilization of this server, if I show you for 1 week, you'll be able to see at the maximum the utilization has gone up to only 10%. You should keep on measuring the efficiency of the system. Now based on that, you can increase or decrease the capacity which is required. Like, why am I not able to decrease it? The reason behind the model which I have selected over here, I am using M6A large. If I use M6 medium, the amount of RAM which is required becomes lesser and I need more. That is the reason I have to come to this family. Although the CPU utilization is going low, but as I needed RAM, that's why I'm onto it. So like this, you should always monitor and control what kind of models are you using and increase or decrease the required thing as per the usage. Stop spending money on your on-premise data centers, because over there are huge costs on capital side, infrastructure, location charges. All these charges are very high in case of maintaining your own data centers for operation. Rather, look for some solutions where you can outsource this headache to the cloud service provider and focus on your customer and on your business rather on focusing on the infrastructure. So Amazon says that come on me, I will help you out. Quite mean, huh? but yes, it says so. Analyze the attribute expenditure and try to use the managed services. This is what Amazon is saying to reduce the cost. Now, the major things that one should keep in mind as a solution architect, like what are the various ways in which you can reduce the cost. So, you know that you have got on demand, reserved, and spot instances, wherein this is the most expensive where you pay hourly. So if you have got a testing environment where you do not know whether the kind of environment that you choose right now will be suitable for your workload or not, and you are not sure about it, so then in that case you will choose on demand. You will run your infrastructure onto it. If everything goes well, you can go to the reserved model, wherein you can save up to 75% of the overall cost as compared. Or if you have got some kind of video processing, batch processing kind of environment, then you can go for spot instances, which can help you to save even up to 90% of the cost. But in this, the work kind of workload that you should choose to run on spot should be a kind of workload which can tolerate the interruptions. If some task is going on and it got interrupted in between, then there should not be any impact on your resource or service. Like suppose say if you have got a picture which is required to be reformatted into three different sizes, okay, so that task can run on spot because the original picture you are already having. The task of reconfiguring or reprocessing it into three different sizes and storing it into different location, in that case, even if your task fails or gets interrupted, your original picture is there with you. You can reinitiate the task and can get the things done. So such kind of workloads where interruptions are tolerable, you can use spot instances. So now you can save cost accordingly. You can use Amazon's fleet management, where you can mix and match these three types of instances in your fleet. So you can keep some of them as on demand, some of them as RI, that is reserved instances, and few can be kept as spot behind the load balancer, suppose say. So if you have got 5 machines, you can make two on demand, or sorry, you can make one on demand, you can make two or three as your RIs, and one or two can be made spot. So even if that one or two instance goes down, then also your services are up and running na, via RI. So this is how you can use the resources. For optimizing the cost, you should do appropriate provisioning. Right kind of family should be selected with right size. Like suppose say you are creating a database. Okay, you are creating a database and you chose the family which is compute optimized family. Now this is a wrong selection. Na? So try to do appropriate provisioning with right sizing. The geographical location of the resource should be wisely chosen. You should try focusing on managed services because it goes cheaper as compared, and use the purchasing options so as to save the cost. So these are the different approaches: right provisioning, right sizing, right geographical selection, choosing the purchasing option, and trying to go for managed services. This will help you to reduce the cost on your infrastructure. That the geographical location selection should be made on the basis that the particular resource which is being accessed, you should either be choosing it nearest to the client, or the service should be cheaper for your customer for whom you are launching the service. So like that you have to make sure that the services are rightly selected. Appropriate provisioning to reduce the cost, like you should use APIs and SDKs with CloudWatch for monitoring. so that if there are some kind of auto scalings required, then they should be done. Don't use excess resources and excess capacity. Just because your customer is able to pay the bill, don't do the over provisioning of something, neither the storage nor the compute. So your workload should be appropriately provisioned. Make use of the trusted advisor, where you will be able to get advices from trusted advisors. Use managed services and serverless architecture, because in serverless you will not pay when you are not using it. So this is how you can even save the cost. In case of storage, you can reduce the cost by introducing the life cycle policy on the S3 bucket, where if the data is not being used for 30 days, you can move the data into infrequent access storage, which will help you to save the cost on the storage. So almost around 32% original cost will be saved if you are using this. Revisit the EC2 instance choice every quarter, I must say, not even 6 months. I would say you do the revisiting every quarter. Try to use the appropriate family. If there is new family launched, new generation launched for the family, try to migrate your system to a better generation family. Because if you notice now, I'll show you the page again, the types. If you notice, like suppose say if you talk about this M5 family. So M5 family, which was a successor of M4, this M5 family. So it will anyways gives you better performance as compared to your M4. Like if we see, if I go to M6A, it clearly says that M6A instances, sorry, M6A instances give 35% better compute price performance over M5A. It gives you this much better price and performance, compute and price performance, M5 over M5s. So if you choose an M5A and you migrate to M6A, it gives you better speeds and better price, because you can compare it. If you come to over here in instance types, if you write M5 over here and you take M5 large, or you say take M6A large, let's take up these two families over here. You are able to see these two families, and if you choose both of them and see the price details, compute, storage, now the pricing section came. Let me reduce the size a little bit. So if you say this is your M5, this is your M5, and this is your M6, both are large. This was $0.01 and this is $0.05. Huge difference between the same sized machine. It is 1.9, it is $0.193 per hour, and it is $0.147 per hour. Again the difference. This is a better generation at a lower price. Amazon always offer you this. Okay? So always choose the right family, revisit your instance choice, and try to give, if there are new instances generations being launched, migrate your infrastructure to it. If there are change in the workload types, then also consider, take the trusted advisor hints, try to make use of spot instances in proper combination. Obviously keep some of them as on demand or reserved and some of them as spot, so that interruptions should will not be there. So like this you can choose the right instance for yourself. What kind of network speeds do you require? What kind of operating system do you require? Do you need enhanced networkings for higher speeds? Then go for these families. Do you need NVMe? Then use these families. NVIDIA mean graphic processing is required. Then go for these families where these NVMe block devices are supported. So like this, you can choose the right family as per your requirement. And the tools which are available in Amazon are for expenditure awareness, budgets, AWS budgets. You can create budgets in the first class itself. We have seen. You can have the cost and usage report. Cost Explorer is there. If I show you, if you come over here and go to the billing dashboard, on this page itself you are able to see what are you getting bill for what. On top of it, Amazon is again giving you one more service which gives you a graphical comparison. If you go a little bit down, say this is your AWS budget, this is your cost explorer. If you click onto it, you'll be able to see which service is giving you what cost and comparison. Like currently this month, the current month cost is this, which is down by 55% over the last month. So it will be forecasted monthly cost is this much dollar, which is down by 14% over the last month. So you can see over here that what is the current status of the services that we are using. If you go a little bit down, you can see monthly cost by service. So which service is giving you what cost? So this light blue color is basically EC2 instance, and this one is your backup. This one is your backup, $42 you got for backup. If you clicked on that, $543 for EC2 instance. Taxes were 157%. If you go on to EFS, it is $97. So service wise costing can be seen over here. So you can check what are you getting bill for, and you can identify, okay, let me see what am I getting bill of $42 in backup. Let me go to AWS backup service. This is my AWS backup service. What is there in the backup? Let me see the backup vaults. So what are the vaults created for? So there is a default vault where there is no recovery. Then what else am I having? Let me go. Okay, I am in North Virginia. That's why. All the infrastructure which we have configured for this client is in Mumbai. So if I go to backup in Mumbai, I'll be able to see this is the EFS backup plan, and this is the vault. This is the rule and this is the vault. I can see this backup vault over here. This is the vault. I have got 15 recovery points. What will I do out of 15? What is the backup plan? Let me see. The backup plan is this. This is the rule. It is creating daily copy, and it is retentioning every copy for 5 days. So that means if I will take a backup today, then tomorrow, day after tomorrow, after that, and on the sixth day, when I will create a copy, then the first day's backup will be gone. So it is too long. I should keep at least no more than 3 copies. So I will make it 3. I will save. So what will happen? That my backup will be kept for last 3 days only. So today I will take up a backup, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, then after that if I will take the backup, today's backup will be deleted. Latest 3 copies of my backup will be there. So there will be, now the cost will be less. Like this, I can see. What else? What are the, so this is your backup rule which we saw. So like this, we can go and check about the vault, what's inside my vault. So there are 15 recovery points for all these EFSs which I have created. So I can see which one is required, which is not required. I can delete accordingly the not required kind of EFSs. So like this, I can, do the comparison.
Hey, if you like this video and would like to learn how to get a high paying job on AWS Cloud, even as a beginner, or if you're already working in cloud and would like to know how to get at least 30% hike minimum, then I would like to invite you for a free class that I'm doing where we take you onto a journey and give you the complete roadmap and including our 3-step framework to get a high paying job in AWS Cloud. I'm also going to give you all the complete roadmap, including the hands-on lab and the project work you should be doing. Also, some of the common mistakes you might be doing that's stopping you from getting it your dream job, whether you're applying and not struggling to get interview calls, or if you're appearing in the interviews and not getting those jobs as well. If you're interested, go to this URL, k21academy.com/AWS02. It's completely free class. Enter your name, email address, phone number, and click on enroll this free class to see you in this free class. Well, that was our expert. She's talking about cost optimization. In the next video, we're going to look at the sustainability part. And so that sixth and final part of the six-part video series talking about six pillars of AWS cost optimization. This is Atul from team K21 Academy. Leave me a comment if you want to see any other topic, or give me the feedback on what we can do to improve. We're constantly improving these videos as well. And if you have any other topic, do let me know. Otherwise, we'll see in the sixth and final part of this six-part video series on six pillars of AWS well-architected framework. We'll talk everything about sustainability.